Yep. Ah, there it is. So we are live on two cameras now at once. This is how this is interesting. This is very interesting. So I have the YouTube camera here, and then I have the Instagram camera over there. Anyways, this is broadcast excellence at its best, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what we're doing. One of the reasons why we are nominated for the best local morning radio show host here in Richmond, Virginia. Brought to you by our friends at the Richmond Times Dispatch. Yep. So that's exactly right. So here we are once again. Tiny, Tiny's first person I see in the YouTube. I'm sorry, in the Instagram chat. Tiny, I see you down there in Instagram chat land. There's a couple of other people popping in down in the chat, guys. I'm also broadcasting live on YouTube. There's a camera right here. I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me. Guys, so I do have two cameras running up simulcasting as we are broadcasting live on the radio, as we are broadcasting on apps. Look at this. This is how we set the standard and how we raise the bar once again here on the 26th day of July 2022, broadcasting live once again here from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Also, the Sam Cam. The Sam Cam is live. The Sam Cam is live on Instagram and YouTube. Yes, we're broadcasting live on Instagram, broadcasting live on YouTube. This is incredible. This is exactly where we should be, how we should be, and where we should be going. Tomorrow, should we try to do Twitch? Can we do Twitch as well tomorrow? Can we have three things up and running at one time? If we can have three things up and running one time, we should start doing that every Saturday. You said, what is Saturday? Well, Saturday is when I show up and I actually have my actual show. The reason why I'm here now is because, like I said, we are on the ballot for the best local morning radio show. But usually I'm here just on Saturday morning. The reason why I'm here on Saturday morning is because who else better than a real puppet to play cartoon themes on a Saturday morning? Yeah. Well, that's what I do. I take phone calls. I open up the phone lines. It's a broadcasting risk. It's a very huge broadcasting risk when I sit there and I open up the phones. But I do open up the phones on Saturdays and request and have you request your own cartoon themes. But that's what put us on the ballot. That's what put us on the ballot for the best local morning radio show here in Richmond, Virginia. So what we decided to do, you ask, why are you here, Sam? Well, I'm here today because we are on an 18-day run, 18 days to Sam the Vote. Hashtag Sam the Vote. Are you familiar with that? Hashtag Sam the Vote. That's what we're doing. You can go to my Instagram page, click on the link in the profile. If you click on the link in the profile, you can vote for me every day now, once a day between now and the 28th. So 3 more days left. We have 3 more days. 3 more days. 3 more days. Go to the link in my profile, click it, and it'll take you right to the page where you can vote for me for best local morning radio show host here in Richmond, Virginia. Hopefully to get in the top three. Get in the top three, get to go to a fancy dinner. Yeah, get to go to a fancy dinner. Then I'll shock, like I said, everybody in Richmond. Well, they don't know. Well, if they did know, they'd be calling me up every Saturday morning requesting cartoon themes. Yeah, but they don't know. They're sleeping in, or they're either going to listen. But that doesn't matter. The reason why we're on the ballot is because we have people that are watching all over the country. Yes, that's true. Not just here locally. So even though you might be listening WDCE 90.1 FM, there is a link at WDCE.org. Well, there's the live stream that's there. Plus, you can download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio app, search WDCE. You can listen to us outside the broadcast radius. And once again, we are live on Instagram. The Sam Cam is live on Instagram, and the Sam Cam is live here on YouTube. Once again, like I said, setting the standard, raising the bar. That's what we are doing. So here it is. It is the morning hour. It is the morning hour. And so I got the Times Dispatch. It says video shows tear gas used by police. In 2020 footage, city officers used chemicals on peaceful protest. Peaceful protest? Oh, right. Yeah. The burning bus in the middle of Richmond is a peaceful protest. Got it. Okay, check. Anyways, so let's see here. The man stood his ground holding a white paperboard sign that said, like, no justice, no peace. He didn't seem to pose a threat to police officers, according to recently body cam video protest on Monument Avenue. But a Richmond police officer deployed a chemical agent to the man's face anyway. Well, if that's the case, then that's just wrong. That's just wrong. No, and I understand that. Was there some type of obstruction? I don't know. Anyway, so here's the incident near the Stewart statue is one of the moment among videos dozens the Richmond Police Department just released in which officers deployed gas on non-threatening protest around the Robert E. Lee and Stewart statues amid street protests shortly after a Minneapolis police officer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're not going to hash all that up. Listen, what we want to do is it shows a deeply scrutinized moment in Richmond history from a perspective that had never been seen before by the public. The Richmond police chief declined to comment Monday on the newly released videos. The officer who sprayed the man holding the sign was a master patrol officer, a senior officer who mentions junior members of the force, mentors junior members of the force, and has expert knowledge of various police subjects, according to so anyway, so that's well, of course. Well, what did you want me to lead with? Huh? You want me to lead with all the shootings? Yeah, I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to do that either. Listen, where's the good news? Okay, here you go. All right. Let me get some good news here. Good grief! Like there's always something negative on here. Can I get something? Yes, Chesterfield celebrates opening of new school. See, now there you go. A new school was opened up here in Chesterfield. Whoa, that's across the river. Yeah, in Chesterfield. Just feels local. I say here in Chesterfield, right? Well, I'm not here there in Chesterfield, here locally in Chesterfield, right? Yeah, I can say that. There's a new elementary school in Chesterfield County after breaking ground in November 2020. Mosley Elementary School opened on Monday to a ribbon cutting ceremony attended by teachers, families, the board of supervisors, and school board members. It's been incredible watching our school transform into this amazing place where students will thrive and thrive together. We are thrilled to have many people supporting our Mustangs, said the principal, referring to the school's mascot. The 104,621 square foot building will welcome roughly 900 students on August 22nd and marks the 40th elementary school to exist across the district. Well, see, now that's good news. So they built a new school. They have 900 students that are going to be at this school. Wish them well on a productive school year. Elementary school. Listen. My favorite. What was your favorite? What was your favorite subject in elementary school? In elementary school specifically. No, not high school. Elementary. hmm Yeah, it was lunch. It was lunch. And what about you? Nap time? Nap time. I should have said nap time. I should have said nap time. For me, it was always reading. It was always reading. That's why I'm still reading to this day. And I'm reading here on the radio all these years later. All these years now, I've been reporting since Roswell. But I'm just telling you, my favorite subject was reading. My favorite. Well, you know what? I might change that. It might have to be nap time. Yeah, because I would have to say, if you put that on the list, what do you like better, reading or nap time? I think that the census across the board would say nap time. So I think I'm going to have to jump over there and say nap time as well. So yeah, favorite subject in elementary school, nap time, followed by lunch, and then reading. Yeah, how about that? Okay. So here we are. Richmond City Council approves right to unionize. Workers applaud unanimous vote. Next step is an election. Historic vote. Richmond City Council on Monday approved a code amendment that gives municipal workers the right to unionize and have collective bargaining. City workers filled council chambers as the affirmative vote was cast, and applause erupted. You guys can think what you want on that. I'm not even going to go there. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Hello, check 1 2. All right, check 1 2. Not sure what happened. Well, not sure what happened. Something went down. It looks like that there's a microphone issue. Problem. Q. No, it looks like I'm not really sure. Anyways, so here I'm broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. And like I said, we're simulcasting, but there are some snafus that happen, I guess, every now and then. And there we go. Okay, so it's back up and running. There we go. So here we go. Not sure exactly what went down there, but we are back up and running. See, this is what happens sometimes. You're sitting there broadcasting live, and all of a sudden, boop, something gets popped, and But it's okay. We're still here. We are still here broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Also live on the Sam Cam. I just read over the Richmond Times Dispatch. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the Richmond Times Dispatch got cut off. They cut us off. There you go. Hold on. Wait a minute. There you go. Serve it up. Right. So there's the newspaper, of course, in front of everybody. And that's what we were reading from Richmond Times Dispatch here on this 26th day of July 2022. Once again, we are simulcasting. We have the SamCam live on Instagram. We have the SamCam live on YouTube. We just had a microphone snafu that I thought I was going to have to cut to a music break, but we were able to successfully navigate through that. See, as a media puppet, this is what needs to happen, and this is how we just roll. Yes, I know. Just keep on going. Keep on. The show must go on, if you will. Yes, I know. Well, here we are. So what do I want to? Okay, I want to go to a break. I do because I want to check over everything, make sure we don't have any more snafus. Once again, we're broadcasting live on the SamCam on Instagram, and we're also broadcasting live on YouTube. Simulcasting at the same time while we're broadcasting on the radio, and there's streams running all over across the country. Once again, setting the standard and raising the bar. So can we play something? What do you guys have? What was that? No, we can't play that. Nope. It was what? No, no, no. What there was something that you just had up there a few moments ago, right? Oh, there's me. No, no, that's not what I want. I don't want that. Hold on. I guess I just gotta do it myself. There we go. Okay, so we set it up everything. So now here's what's very interesting. Okay, there goes that again. Weird. Okay, so this is a very difficult situation, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am. I am a real media puppet. I have one video over here. I have one video over here. So I'm controlling all of this while all of my crew is behind the glass of it. Guys, listen. I know that you guys keep laughing at me. You keep laughing at me because here I am doing all of this, and you guys are saying, "Oh, look at Sam, look at Sam, look at Sam." Well, look at me now. Here I'm broadcasting on Instagram and on YouTube and on the radio. Here on this 26th day of July 2022, it is 6:25. We're going to get out of here for a few moments because there's just been some interesting things happening here this morning. But I do have more news. I do have more news here in a few moments. So just stay tuned. Just give me about 6-7 minutes or so while this plays. I'll try to come back on the other side of this, or we might play another song, maybe two songs, and then we'll come back on the other side of that. But the first one, we're just going to play some orchestra music because this has been good. This has been bad. It's been ugly, but we've successfully navigated the waters, and we are now broadcasting live on multiple avenues as the only radio show in America dedicated to sideshow infotainment, hosted by me, a real puppet. Sideshow infotainment being news and information. News, information, politics, commentary, and comedy. From, of course, the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sideshow Infotainment. Bro- broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM, getting all the levels straight here. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sideshow Infotainment. Here on the 26th day of July, 2022. Anyways, here we are, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Once again, you're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sideshow Infotainment, broadcasting live on several different avenues this morning. So first being WDCE, like I said. Also have the SamCam. We have the SamCam up on two places this morning. The official SamCam. We have the official SamCam here for Instagram. So there's Instagram right over there. I saw somebody jump in the chat. And then what do we have? Oh, and then we have yes, over here we have YouTube. So we have YouTube here. We have Instagram over there. And we're doing this live as we're broadcasting on the radio. But let's say if you don't have the radio, if you can't watch us on Instagram, if you can't watch us on YouTube, what you can do is you can download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio app. When you download the Simple Radio app, what happens is that you then can search WDCE, and then you can listen to the station at any time, not just this show, but all the other shows on the station as well. So once again, like I said, Simple Radio app, download that, search WDCE, and you can listen to the broadcast signal if you're outside. WDCE.org. That's another way that you can watch as well. But like I said, setting the standard, raising the bar. Here we are broadcasting live two videos at once as we're on the radio. But now here you go. Now, so it was very unfortunate yesterday that I didn't, I normally get the Washington Post, and I should have gotten it on Sunday because there was a juicy opinion piece on there. Yeah, everybody was talking about it yesterday. We won't get into it right now. It was a juicy opinion piece. So what I decided to do was pick up the Washington Post today. So I picked up the Washington Post today, and you know what I see? I see this. This is what I see. Well, let me see if I can get it in front of the SamCam for everybody. Yes, I see this. I see this. You see it over there? Hold on. Do you see that over there? Yep. So make sure both cameras see it. Yes, it's the Pope in a Native American ceremonial headdress. So a Native ceremonial headdress. We just call it Native. We'll just call him Native. Don't want to offend anybody, right? So anyways, Pope Francis wears a headdress presented to him by the indigenous leaders during a meeting in Makakawis, Alberta, where he apologized. And it's in Canada, whatever. And so where he apologized to thousands of survivors of child abuse committed over decades at residential schools in Canada. The school system forcibly removed indigenous children from their parents and tried to assimilate them in Euro-Christian society, often brutally. So that's what no, it has nothing to do with the Catholic priest. No, he's not going to apologize for that. No. Anyways, delivers a historic apology. No, so he's not apologizing for that. He's just apologizing for the fact that they tried to assimilate indigenous people years ago. Did that happen here in America too? What all the hate's about? Oh, no. I know you go down a bunch of rabbit trails with this one and then upset everybody. Everybody's be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that as a media puppet. And it's like, well, why wouldn't I say that? Because I am a media puppet, right? You take everything so seriously. Can't even listen to a real media puppet talk about the news. Here I am doing a service for the last 18 days in a row, mind you. And anyway, so here we go. So this is from the Washington Post, where democracy dies in the darkness. Democracy dies in the darkness. That's the title of that, So whatever. July 26, 2022, Pope delivers historic apologies in Canada, an act of reconciliation, condemns abuse of Indigenous at schools. Pope Francis on Monday began a long-sought act of reconciliation in Canada, decrying the country's catastrophic residential school systems for Indigenous children and asking forgiveness for the evil committed by so many Christians. I'm deeply sorry for the ways in which, regrettably, many Christians supported colonizing the colonizing mentality of the powers that oppress the indigenous peoples, Francis said in the native Spanish. He addressed his comments to several thousand residential school survivors in a grass field encircled by a small grandstand on the first full day of a trip aimed at penitence for one of Canada's greatest tragedy, a school system that forcibly removed Indigenous children from their parents and tried to assimilate them into Euro Christian society. Often brutally, students were forbidden from speaking in their native language or practicing traditional customs. Many were physically or sexually abused. Horrible, 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 horrible. And Friday, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he's trying to ask for forgiveness. Now, we always know that, yes, that might be the key, but he has a several day trip. So, just to give you guys just a little heads up on how this all works. If he is going on a several day trip, of course, he goes and he gets he gets seen because he's apologizing. But the reality is that he's going over for some kind of monetary something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I can tell you this from my sources. My sources tell me. What do you mean? What do you mean your sources? My sources do count. Listen, I've been doing this since Roswell, and I can't stand it every time you guys sit there and start snickering behind the glass just because I'm trying to be serious for a moment. Here I am, the most trusted puppet in media. Report, yes, I'm a real media puppet on the radio. I know that doesn't sound, it sounds ridiculous, but here I am. I'm broadcasting live on the radio and I'm broadcasting live on Instagram at Sam Newsman on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube right now at the same time, broadcasting all over the country here. Listen, when the news goes down, the Sam comes up. And I'm up early before everybody else doing this 18 days straight just to give you guys a heads up to let you know what's happening. Listen, is there any a better way to start off your day than with me? What do you say? I had to make it rhyme. But seriously, so would there be any way to start off your day better than with a real media puppet reading the news? Listen, I am reading the news. I mean, that was a real news story. I mean, people think that I'm just sitting there making this up and blah, blah, blah. No, I'll actually grab the newspaper. People, a lot of times I sit there and I hear, what makes a good radio show? What makes good this and that? And it's like, well, for every X minute of show time is X minute of prep time and blah, blah, blah. All these math equations and everything like that. You know what? You know what show prep is about? Is picking up a damn newspaper and reading it here on live on the air when you have multiple different screens going on here now at the same time, setting the standard, raising the bar. Been doing this since Roswell, reporting since Roswell. I mean, it's the actual, it's one of my taglines. So here I am. I am sitting there setting the standard, raising the bar. I'm not reading blogs out of some dude's basement, living in a basement somewhere. No, I'm not reading blogs. This is actually from the Washington Post. So, here you go. This is a very interesting one. Here you go. We'll do, what do we got? It is 6:46 here on this 26th day of July. Give your garbage another life. Learn how what I want to be recycled.org. A message by Keeping America Beautiful and the Ad Council. So, America's rifle ad stunt sheds light on marketing aggressive tactics for AR-15 style gun in firm's Super Bowl plan. A rapidly growing manufacturer of AR-15 style rifles tried to run an ad during the Super Bowl in 2014, knowing that the NFL typically does not allow gun commercials during its marquee event. But Daniel Defense, the makers of the semi-automatic rifle used in the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, of course, they had to bring that up, privately had in place a plan to generate publicity whether the ad aired or not, according to a previously unreported court documents that shed light on the gun maker's marketing strategies. If it aired, Daniel Defense top marketing executive planned to have people across the country complain about the company's own ad to left-leaning media or organizations, stirring controversy and generating coverage. Oh, so they're going to do an inside job? So the gun manufacturer was going to do this is a new one. You don't ever really hear this. The ad was rejected. Records show the executive had arranged for a prominent National Rifle Association commenter to release a pre-recorded online video accusing the NFL of censorship and hypocrisy. I had two plans, Daniel Defense former marketing director Jordan Hunter, a Marine veteran, said during a May 2015 deposition in a trademark infringement case. That's from the Marine Corps days. Two plans. If one goes bad, you have another. The examination of Daniel Defense Marketing, based on court filings, interviews, internal documents, other records, shows how the gun maker over the past decade devised public publicity stunts, paid for favorable coverage in newsstand magazines, and employed other aggressive tactics to entice Americans to buy its AR style semi-automatic rifles. So Daniel Defense, does anybody out there? I don't have a Daniel Defense AR-15. No, it couldn't even hold it anyway. Look at it's bigger than I am. No, 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 no. That's not, yeah, not going to happen here. But are you guys familiar with this? Okay, so this gun manufacturer, they were basically had marketing tactics that would try to make sure that they were shown in a better light. Well, the question is, here's the question. The thing that I don't understand and what I'm looking for is how good are the rifles, right? Because if someone says, "Oh, well, they're garbage," well, we would need to know that. And then we would need to know that they're marketing. They wasted all that time on their marketing because they knew that their guns were garbage. Listen, here's the reality in all of this, ladies and gentlemen. There's always this gun discussion. Okay. Can we get serious for a minute? Can we get serious? Can we get serious about guns for a moment? Listen, I want to get serious about guns. We need to get serious. We need to have a gun discussion. Okay. So we have to have this right now. Here we are. We're broadcasting live WDCE. We have Instagram up live at Sam Newsman on Instagram. We have a video feed there. We have a video feed here on YouTube. And I just need to tell you guys something about gun control. All right. Are you ready? We need to have a serious discussion about guns. The government, all right, listen to this. The government has space lasers. Yeah, did you know that? The government has space lasers. Right, right. Yeah. So the government has space lasers. What does that mean? That means while you are sitting there fiddling around with your little, bullet shooting AR, the government actually has space lasers. They've had space lasers for a long time. So I've never gotten this thing. Guns, yes, they're a collector's item. They can keep your family protected and safe. Yes, yes, yes. But in the scheme of things, if you think you're going to go down as John Rambo up against the government, the reality is that the government has space lasers. Literally, space lasers. Like, from above. Space lasers. Yeah, so keep on collecting the ARs. Yes, yes. You might need those during the zombie apocalypse. But if there's the government apocalypse, guess what? Space lasers. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I never understood it. I'm like, well, I'm going it because you never know the Second Amendment and government and blah 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 and the Washington Revolution. And I'm like, space lasers. Can we talk about space lasers? Space lasers. Listen, I don't have any problem with you owning a gun. You can have a damn cannon for all I care. A bazooka, I don't care. But it doesn't bother me one bit. But the reality is, you know what you'll never have that the government already does? Yep. A space laser. That's the truth. And listen, I know now people are going to be like, "Oh, I got to go on the dark web and try to buy." No, you can't. Listen, you can't buy a space laser. You can't do it. You just can't do it because it's classified. How do I know about classifications? Because I've been reporting since Roswell. That's right. Been reporting since Roswell, so we're probably one of the reasons why we are on the best local morning radio show ballot for the Richmond Times-Dispatch. How do you vote? You can go to Sam Newsman on Instagram, click at Sam Newsman on Instagram, click on the link in the profile. You have 3 days left. You can vote every single day for the next 3 days for us on Instagram. We're going to come back here in a few moments. I have a few songs I'm going to play here. We'll be back on the other side. I have a couple of really interesting news stories that I want to try to pull up here during the break that I pulled up the other night. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I should be reading this right now. So hopefully we'll get to those here in a bit. And we'll finish up the show with what we learned today. Try to maybe just do one whole third set all the way straight through. Maybe. Yep. No sitcom themes. Just one blast. See what we can do. All right. So we'll be back, like I said, on the other side of this break here in just a few moments. But until then, keep listening to us here on WDCE 90.1 FM, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sideshow Infotainment.
guys, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. Hold on here. From the most, let's see here. There we go. From the most trusted pulpit in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sideshow Infotainment. Here, the 26th day of July, 2022. Once again, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Have a couple of things going on. Hello, White Vegeta in the chat over there on Cobra Island. Classified, can't talk too much about that, but White Vegeta over there on Cobra Island, fancy toes and all. Once again, here we are broadcasting live. We're broadcasting several different ways, of course, once again, out of the WDCE studios here out of the University of Richmond. Also, we are broadcasting on the Sam Cam here at Sam Newsman on Instagram. Also, we are broadcasting on YouTube. Yes, I have the YouTube camera up right here next to me as well. So I have the Sam Cam here on Instagram, the Sam Cam here on YouTube, broadcasting on WDCE. And also, if you can't get to us on any of those, you can download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio app and search WDCE. You can then listen to the show live as it's happening. And you can listen to other shows here on WDC as well. WDCE.org also has a link to the live stream as well. Broadcasting worldwide because we are in a competition. It may be for the local morning radio show host, but the reason why we are here is because we have a group of people that are listening all over the country. So yes, it might be best local morning radio show, but the question is are they getting votes from all over the country? And why? Well, the reason why is because we are continually setting the standard and raising the bar. I have people listening to the show all over the place. Maybe not this particular one because they're probably still all asleep. Here we are, we're early. It is what, 7:06? 7:07. 7:07, 0726220707. Here on this Tuesday, the 26th day of July. And those are the numbers. Those are the numbers, 0726220707. You play those numbers and you win, you know what to do. Make sure I get my cut. So here we are. We were already here earlier this morning and we had a couple of things that we talked about. We were talking about things from the Richmond Times-Dispatch in the first segment. Then we had the Washington Post here in the second part. But of course, I was looking at news last night. Everybody was upset about a few things. There's a couple of things that I wanted to address real quick. The first one is did you hear about the World Health Organization, the guy who heads it? Right. He's not even a real doctor. Okay. I did bring this up on a previous segment, so you probably go back and watch it on Sam Newsman, at Sam Newsman on Instagram. I probably did already say this, but the head of the World Health Organization, not even a real doctor, not even a doctor at all. He decided, so there was a 9-6 vote. There was a 9-6 vote of whether or not they wanted to declare monkeypox a national emergency. He said that he broke the tie-breaking vote. The tie-breaking vote of 9-6. What? What do you mean you broke the tie-breaking vote of 1-6? See, this is the reason why criminal health who? I'll tell you who. Criminal Health Organization. That's who. Ridiculous. Guy's not even a doctor, and he decides to unilaterally say, oh, no, monkeypox is a global emergency. I'm just going to say it, even though I'm going to break the 9-6 tie vote. What? Can't even make that up. No, I'm serious. No. Can you imagine a Supreme Court justice saying, no, I broke the tie-breaking vote. We're just going to go this way. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Oh, well, yeah, the left already thinks that. Oh, that's why they want to expand the court. But no, I'm serious. If there was a vote and the vote was 9-6, and then the guy who runs the voting just says, okay, I'm going to come in and break the tie-breaking vote, and just decides, hey, I'm going to break it now. At the 9-6 vote, that was not, that's not a tie-breaking vote. Maybe that's the reason why he's not a medical doctor, huh? Can't even count. Guy can't even count. And then he's sitting there making executive decisions across the board saying that the World Health Organization says that monkeypox is a global emergency. Oh, I'm going to break this tie-breaking vote 9-6. Get out of here. What else do we have? Oh, this one's good. We're not in a recession. No, we're not in a recession. No, just listen, gas prices are going down. I don't want to hear what you have to say. We are not in a recession. No, we're not. Listen, just because for the longest time that economic data that showed two negative GDP numbers within consecutive quarters indicated a possible recession. Because the job market's been great, and now gas prices are going down. Forget the fact that the gas was about $5, $6, $7 a gallon, a couple weeks ago, and now they've trickled it back down. Hmm. So they've trickled it back down, but but now let me just tell you, like for years and years and years, can you imagine? So for years and years and years, this economic data meant that if there was two negative GDPs, then that means that we're in a recession. However, not this year. Nope, not this year. So I don't want to hear anybody calling me and telling me that they're having a recession or that they feel like that they're in a recession, because you know what? When the government tells you that we're not in a recession, would the government ever lie to you? Really? Would the government ever lie to you specifically about money and finance? Of course not. Of course not. So you need to take everything at their word. Need to take everything at their word. Just know they got everything under control. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Selling oil reserves to China. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Listen, it boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. But we're not in a recession. So I don't want to hear any of that recession talk. We're not in a recession. Nope. 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 I don't care what the big tech giants post here this week. Their numbers don't matter. Why? Because Jean Paris said so. The White House press secretary. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so I should have been a White House press secretary. Could you imagine that? Can you imagine that? A real media puppet? A real media puppet in front of political well, we don't want to call them political puppets. We can't call them political puppets. Just like I get upset when I hear people call media puppets, because they're not really media puppets. Because here I am, a real media puppet doing this on the radio, real radio, not just a podcast, but real radio here broadcasting. Now we're simulcasting. We are simulcasting on Instagram. We're also simulcasting on YouTube, setting the standard, raising the bar. What do you want from me? What do you want? You want more information? I'll give you some more information. Listen, hold on. Let me see here. I got some. Listen, okay. I got a couple more stories here before we head out in just a moment. Oh, here you go. Eric Schmidt. Eric Schmidt. Do you remember Eric Schmidt? Eric Schmidt used to be the CEO of Google. Yeah, that was years ago. Eric Schmidt was the CEO of Google. Eric Schmidt says that he thinks that AI is as powerful as nukes. What? AI is just as powerful as nukes? All right, let's see here. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt compared AI to nuclear weapons and called for a deterrence regime similar to the mutually assured destruction that keeps the world's most powerful countries from destroying each other. Schmidt talked about the dangers of AI at the Aspen Security Forum at a panel on national security and artificial intelligence on June 22nd. While fielding a question about the value of morality in tech, Schmidt explained that he himself had been naive about the power of information in the early days of Google. He then called for tech to be better in line with the ethics and morals of the people it serves and made a bizarre comparison between AI and nuclear weapons. Oh, do we have the do we have the audio? Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can bring up the audio.
Tech, where we were incredibly naive. I was very naive about the impact of what we were doing. I now understand that information is everything. It's incredibly powerful. So I think the first comment I would make is I think that the government and other institutions should put more pressure on tech to get these things consistent with our values and so forth. And I suspect we all agree. We can debate how to do it, but it requires a conversation. It requires engagement. I think and as opposed to, say, yelling at each other. Because the leverage that tech has is very, very real. If you then think about how will we negotiate, let's say, an AI agreement? Well, first, you have to have the technologists who understand what's going to happen, and then you have to have an awareness on the other side. So let's do a thought experiment. Let's say that we decide to have a chat with China on some kind of treaty around AI surprises. Very reasonable. How would we do it? Who in the US government would work with us? And it's even worse on the Chinese side. Who do we call? I've tried to find that person and I can't find them.
Well, of course you can't find them. That person is classified. Eric, you know better. Come on now. Didn't you have some kind of clearance because you worked at Google and you were doing contracts for the government? Anyways, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM here on this 26th day of July 2022. That was Eric Schmidt, and he was talking about the dangers of AI, comparing it to nukes. AI and machine learning is an impressive and frequently misunderstood technology. It is largely not as smart as people think it is. It can churn out master level artwork and beat humans at StarCraft 2 and make rudimentary phone calls for users. Attempts to get it to do more complicated tasks, however, like drive a car through a major city, haven't been going too well. Oh, that's right. Yep. Smith imagined a near future where both China and US would have security concerns that force a kind of deterrence treaty between them around AI, speaks to the 1950s and 60s diplomacy. The two Japanese cities America destroyed at the end of World War II killed tens of thousands of people and proved to the world the everlasting horror of nuclear weapons. Governments of China and Russia then rushed to acquire their weapons. The way that we live with possibility with these weapons will be used through something called the mass assured the possibility that the way that we live with the possibility these weapons will be used is through something called the mutual assured destruction, a theory of deterrence that ensures if one country launches a nuke, it's possible that every other country will too. We don't use the most destructive weapon on the planet because the possibility of doing so will destroy at least civilization around the globe. The problem with AI is not that it has potentially the world destroying force of a nuclear weapon, it's that AI is only as good as the people who designed it and that they reflect the values of their creators. AI suffers from classic garbage in, garbage out problem. Racist algorithms make racist robots, and AI carries the biases of its creators, and the chatbot trained on 4chans can become vile. So, AI is a reflection of its creator. It can't level a city in a 1.2 megaton blast, not unless a human teaches it to do so. Oh! Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. I'll be back. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Judgment Day. Judgment Day. Judgment. You need to be careful. You need to be careful. Listen, I tell you what. You read stories like that and you're like, wait a minute. No, that was from Vice. Here's another one. Here's another one to, brighten your fancies. Biological weapons could target DNA food supply, two U.S. lawmakers say. What? Hold on, this is coming from Axios. Biological and chemical weapons have the potential to pose a national security threat to the U.S. that the country is not equipped to handle. A panel of lawmakers and military leaders told an audience at the Aspen Security. This is once again at that Aspen Security. What the hell is going on in this Aspen Security Forum? Is this where the MI6 guy ended up showing up? Did he ended up showing up at that forum too? Because I did read somewhere where he ended up showing the head of MI6 ended up coming. Anyway, so here we go. Why this is why it matters. Okay, I like how Axios does this. Why it matters. The COVID-19 pandemic underscored how globally debilitating and dangerous pathogens could be if deliberately engineered and released. In May, former federal officials warned that the U.S. is not prepared for the possibility of germ warfare. The big picture. Army General Richard Clark, the commander of the U.S. Special Operations Command, said chemical weapons such as chlorine and mustard gas had been used in 2014 and 2016 by such actors such as ISIS and Iraq and Syria. No, I won't get into that. Okay. Clark said non-state actors such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda continue to look at these weapons because they instill fear. Clark added the state actors, Russia could also pose a threat. What they're saying now, here we go. Okay, so as we go into the future, we have to be prepared for eventually for that eventuality. And I don't think that we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about what? Oh, okay. Russia willing to use those against state actors could pose a threat. Russia. Okay, Russia. Okay, so now, there are now weapons under development and developed that are designed to target specific people. Okay, this is where it gets juicy. This is where it gets juicy. This is Representative Jason Crow. He's a he's a Democrat out of Colorado. He's a Democrat out of Colorado, Representative Jason Crow. He said there are now weapons under development and developed that are designed to target specific people. Well, man, if that doesn't sound like a guy in a tinfoil hat, I don't know what does, right? I mean, because that's what, people have been saying that for years. And everybody just says, oh, well, you just have a tinfoil hat on. You just have a tinfoil hat on. Well, what if I don't have a tinfoil hat on? What if I actually have a thinking cap on? And I've been thinking all this time that everyone who's been saying that is right. So this is what this is. Okay, he's a member. He's a member of the House Committee on Armed Services and House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. That's what this is, where you can actually take someone's DNA, their medical profile, and you can target a biological weapon that will kill that person or take them off the battlefield or make them inoperable, Crow said. You can't have a discussion about this without talking about privacy and commercial data and the protection of commercial data, because expectations of privacy have degraded over the last 20 years. People will very rapidly spit into a cup and send it to 23andMe and then get really interesting data about their background. And guess what? Their DNA is now owned by a private company and can be sold off with very little intellectual property protection or privacy or protection. And we don't have legal or regulatory regimes that deal with that. The data is actually going to be procured and collected by our adversaries for development of these type of weapon systems. This is not, no, ladies and gentlemen, this is not conspiracy theory. This is not conspiracy theory, which was developed by the that phrase was developed by the CIA. They know it. Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa, a member of Senate Subcommittee on Emerging Threats and Capabilities and Armed Service Committee, added that biological weapons can be equally dangerous if they are designed to target food systems rather than people. So food systems rather than people. So that's a problem. If we look at food security and what can our adversaries do with biological weapons that are directed at our animal agriculture and at our agriculture sector, highly pathogenic avian influenza, African swine fever, all of these are things that have circulated around the globe, but if targeted by an adversary, and we know that it brings about food insecurity drives a lot of other insecurities around the globe. There's a number of ways we can look at biological weapons and the need to make sure not only we are securing human beings, but then also the food that will sustain us, Ernst said. And she believes food will be increasingly weaponized in the future, pointing to how Russia has weaponized food in its war in the Ukraine as an example. But hold on, wait a minute. So there was a grain deal that was done. Hold on, before there was a grain deal that was done. The grain is now actually flowing in and out of Ukraine and Russia. Not been reported here in Western media. I did see that. So that is fact. There was an agreement. So grain has not been stalled. It actually is going through. So that's actually from my source. Yes, I was going to read the intel source. The intel source. A lot of stuff going down. But we'll get to it maybe eventually later in the week. I was thinking about reading it today, but listen, we're running out of time. And one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys real quickly how you can just continue to vote for us. Go to Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Instagram. Click on the link in the profile, and you can vote for us for Best Local Morning Radio Show here in Richmond, Virginia by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. So at Sam Newsman on Instagram, click on the link in the profile. Then you go to richmond.com, go to contests, and you can go to entertainment. Then you scroll down to Best Local Morning Radio Show, and you can click on us there as well. Well, here we go. So I think that we got a few more moments left, and we're just going to run through. We're going to take it off, and we're just going to run through. All right. Well, that's fine with me if that's how you guys want to do this. Doesn't bother me one bit. It gets us out of here early. So with the fact that we've been listening. We've been listening to Eric Schmidt, and we've been reading about biological DNA weapons and all of that fun stuff here on a Tuesday morning. I got one more thing that I should say. Oh, that Game of Thrones is what they play. A house of cards, just day by day. The voters losing every way. It's just like I always say. It's sideshow infotainment, politicians and news anchors, and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. The most trusted puppet in media is me. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman.
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. I don't think you're giving us due credit. Scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before. Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could do everything as they should.
Well, it's about that time again. It's about that time where we, we talk about what we learned today. All right. So the first thing, what did we learn? Well, we learned that there's camera video footage of police officers tear gassing peaceful protesters that eventually went and burned down a bus and tore down statues. Right? No, I know. Seriously, with all seriousness, though, you can't sit there and just fire something in a dude's face, though, right? No, unless he's obstructing what you're trying to do as an officer. I don't know. Anyways, it's bad. It's a bad look all around. Not a good thing. You know, it's also a bad look. A bad look is when you, as the the Catholic Pope, has to go over there. He was presented a headdress, Indian ceremonial head garb. And I had to apologize. Yep. No, not for the Catholic priest. No, he didn't apologize for that. He was apologizing because back in the day, they would actually just take indigenous children. They would take indigenous children. I don't want to get anybody upset. Crisscross applesauce. Anyway, so yeah, they would take indigenous children just to try to assimilate them into the school system. Not make them not talk in their native language. Punish them. Sexually, it was bad. It was bad. Anyway, the Pope had to, he had to apologize for that. But no, not about the Catholic priest. No, he didn't do that. No. Why waste his time on that? I mean, come on now. I mean, that's just, that happens everywhere. All right, study, just having 4 drinks a week changes your brain. Many people have a cocktail before dinner or a drink to help them wind down at the end of the day. No big deal, right? According to a new observational study, that alcohol consumption may be changing your brain. PhD university professor out of Oxford in England said her study co-authors linked moderate drinking, about 4 standard drinks a week in the United States, to a higher brain iron levels in multiple basal ganglia regions. Okay, so the researchers analyzed 21,000 people in the UK. They found that more brain iron was associated with poor scores on tests of executive function, fluid intelligence, and reaction speed. The researchers reported this, and the researchers had 3 main reasons to do this study: growing evidence of moderate alcohol consumption negatively affecting the brain, the possibility that the accumulation of iron in the brain could be a reason higher brain iron has been described in Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other neurodegenerative conditions. That's interesting. The research knew of no studies investigating whether brain iron levels differ by level of alcohol consumption. Okay, so wait, what? Wait a minute, what? The researchers knew of no studies investigating whether, this is the very first study, to our knowledge, demonstrating higher brain iron in moderate drinkers. That was the whole point of the study. The findings offer a potential pathway through which alcohol be pointed to as the cause of cognitive decline. So, let's see here. Oh, here you go. Establishing the pathway is important as it may offer clues that we can reduce harm in the future. Findings, though, are largely limited to the basal ganglia, collections of brain cells that are involved in motor control, executive functions, and emotions, says another doctor who was not involved in the study. Well, I guess the question is that what? That is 4 drinks, changes the didn't we have an article a couple of weeks ago about this? About a drink? about drinking, and I was sitting there telling you guys that it's not that 4 drinks. Hell, you drink 1 drink and it changes the chemistry of your brain. I mean, they've had that. They've said that for years. They've said that for years. And I tell you what, if you have 2, that's why if you have 2, next thing you do, you're calling your friends up and you're calling your buddy and you're saying, "Hey, man, I've had 2, 1 too many, 2 too many, 2 too many." The thing is that you just got to understand that if you drink, listen, I don't have a problem with a cocktail every now and then. You can't be drinking more than 4 times a week, number one. You shouldn't be even drinking 4 times a month. Hell, you shouldn't even be drinking multiple times a year. Just a few times maybe. A cocktail here, a cocktail there. I mean, but you need to be safe. You need to be safe. You need to be wise too. Listen, there's all this research out there that just talks about how much worse that alcohol is than cannabis. Oh, well, so wait, cannabis is okay, right? No, well, sometimes it depends on who you're talking to, right? Well, it depends exactly. It depends on who you're talking to. Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, the government's going to be experimenting with fentanyl in order to try to bring down the yeah, everybody's yeah. There's a problem. There's an opioid pandemic and all this stuff. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh man, yeah. Did you see that? Oh man, Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp is going to say he's going to talk. Yeah, he's the governor of Georgia. He's going to talk in the. Oh, he's going to. I think he's going to. He might flip against. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of brouhaha. Oh man. Anyways, that's my exit cue. So that's my exit cue. I gotta run. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, same time. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be doing this again. We're gonna be getting out of here at the same time tomorrow, around 7:30. Yeah, because Todd's gonna come here at 7:45. So we were just trying to see how sharp and tight we can get this run today. Once again, we are broadcasting live from the WDCE studios at the University of Richmond. We have the Sam Cam up on @SamNewsMan on Instagram. We have a camera up here on YouTube as well, setting the standard, raising the bar. That's what we do all the time. And, we are just asking for your vote. Vote for us for the best local morning radio show by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Go to Sam Newsman on Instagram, click on the link in the profile, and you can do that every day until Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow, and from the most trusted puppet in media here on this 26th day of July, 2022, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sideshow Infotainment.